with its huge strength in marine and fisheries, with the manufacturing base that is being developed in Andhra Pradesh under the Make in India program, with the various special economic zones which will promote foreign trade, all of them will need human talent, will need manpower skills. And the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, with almost 2,000 students pan-India today, is developing the future management skills which will be the support system to grow this foreign trade. And the world wants to do more and more business with us. The world wants to do free trade agreements with us. The world wants to expand trading relationships, friendships with India. Looking at the potential both in terms of a large market and the potential that we have to help their economies survive, their economies grow. And therefore, my young friends here today, you have a huge burden on your shoulders. You have the burden of taking India to the status of a developed country. You have a work ahead of you cut out to care for the millions of fellow brothers and sisters in India who have not yet reached the level of prosperity that they deserve, that everybody deserves in India. You have to take upon yourself the responsibility for inclusive growth, the responsibility for growth of all the regions of the country. And let us all work together in this spirit of togetherness. Let us grow IIFT in Kakinada also to have 400 students like we have in Delhi or we have in the Kolkata campus. Let us quickly develop the main campus of IIFT and give the best of skills to our young boys and girls to prepare them for a future, a great future that India has, which I am sure under the very, very visionary, decisive, strong leadership of Prime Minister Modi, Finance Minister Mrs. Sitharaman, and with the huge effort that all of you will put in the years to come, India is bound to see success. India is bound to have a very glorious future. Collectively, let us all work to make India once again a Vishwa Guru, a global superpower. And I wish all of you well in your work. We are in the midst of festival seasons. We have Diwali just now, which has concluded. We've concluded Govardhan Puja. We've had Bhai Dooj. Many have celebrated the New Year. Going forward, it's going to be a period of festivities in which Honorable Prime Minister also gave one clarion call that as we travel, as we go to other parts of the country, whatever is our travel budget, whatever we are spending, we must spend at least 5% to buy made in India goods, local goods, goods produced in that district which we are visiting. Many of you would be taking vacations as the new year comes in. Going forward, I would urge all of you to take this clarion call of the Prime Minister, and wherever you go travel, wherever you go, please encourage local businesses. Please encourage locally produced goods through the one district, one product plan, or goods which have found resonance not only in India but in the whole world, but are produced in different parts of the country. And if we all work in the spirit of supporting each other, supporting Indian artisans, supporting Indian weavers, Geeta ji just spoke about the 3 weaver clusters we have approved. Ultimately, the more we support our local artisans and weavers and persons who make handlooms and handicrafts and khadi and other local products, the more we will be able to take development to different parts of the region. I hope you will all take this up as a commitment as we work towards developing India. Friends, thank you very much for giving us an opportunity to be amongst you. We are all eagerly waiting to hear Niramala ji. My best wishes to all the students of this very prestigious Institute of Foreign Trade. May God be with you. All the very best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the encouraging words. I would now request Srimati Niramala Sitharaman ji, Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Government of India, to give the inaugural address.
Good morning and namaskar to everybody, dignitaries on the dais, ministers, MPs and MLAs, and all students of the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. I'm extremely happy to be here. There's just so much that I can talk in the context of foreign trade. The minister has also expanded a lot on what's the potential which is before us. And when we talk about skilling the youth, there is this one set of fantastic skilling which is happening through the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade that is readying young minds to understand the economy and also understand how to trade with countries outside, how policies are framed for enabling trade, and also to see how best trade can actually bring that catalytic impact on the Indian economy. So a very high quality, purpose-serving, and absolutely not just an academic qualification, but a skill with which you can contribute to India's policy making and you can contribute to India's policy decisions for enabling trade is actually what is happening here. And I got this feeling from all those who spoke before me that there was this obsession in me to get it to Kakinada. Yes, to get it to Kakinada, to get it to Andhra Pradesh. The minister in charge, Dr. Raju, actually explained as to why Kakinada is a good place for exports and so on. But the underlying fact is that Andhra Pradesh as a state has repeatedly proven itself that it has got the potential for some of the best exports, and even much before full-fledged support came from any government, they had the spirit of entrepreneurship to show that a state with about 700 kilometers of coastal line understood the value of marine exports and has been on the top of it only because of the way in which the marine product exporters in the state have really understood the market requirements of outside world, caught up with the standards which they expect. For that matter, even, when you export a product, particularly an edible product, particularly a perishable product, global standards are such today that they go tracing to the last pond where that marine product has come out. Marine, not just into the sea, but also marine-based products which happen in. So the traceability becomes a big issue, and if your quality is not up to the global standards, you're mercilessly rejected. Now, Andhra Pradesh, I give full credit to the marine products growers here for having understood this level of sophistication in marketing these products, in cultivating these products, producing and packaging it in such a way that the end consumer gets it absolutely fresh without any doubt about the quality. And that is why Andhra Pradesh today leads in marine product exports. Now, therefore, it is this kind of a drive to produce best of products which will be internationally acceptable, and therefore today you can stand out in the exports is what is required, and that is the potential that Andhra Pradesh is sitting with, whether it is pharmaceutical, whether it is automobile parts, whether it is textiles, whether it is rice and rice-based products inclusive of rice bran oil, or whether it is fruits, vegetables. Amazing capacity lies here. And I would like to therefore draw on the very, very many out-of-the-box way in which Honorable Prime Minister suggests that we support exports. He, in fact, some of the times when he addressed many of our gathering, even suggested states should now have export promotion offices in the Indian embassies. If you have the capacity to tell the whole world the kind of things that you produce, which are international class, our embassies are the place where you should be and target the markets there. So he in fact incentivized states to say, please think about the products and be able to access in particular areas where you think market strength lies for you. So he's been thinking about it, one, and also indicating this. Second, this whole idea which Honorable Minister Piyush Goyal ji referred to, districts have strength to export. India is a large country. Many of our states are sizes of some of the European countries themselves. And we have the capacity, even as a district, to be able to capture market outside. So Prime Minister's idea of one district, one product was twofold. One, you aim to capture the new markets. Two, in that district itself, if that product is identified and the manufacturing of that is scaled up to such a level that you're able to do quality exports outside, you have actually won the export struggle. So one district, one product was again an attempt to identify such products in such districts which have a natural capacity, organic capacity, and therefore they can, with the help of the state governments, build common facilities, get these exporters, manufacturers, service providers to be in one place, and then package it in such a way that you are able to export it. One district, one product was one such a thought. Just as one such a thought was, states negotiate through the Indian embassies everywhere and try to capture the market. And the third was the vocal for local idea. We all know some districts do have fantastic handicraft products, fantastic local products which are so enamoring. But do we really have the inclination to promote them, or we think, oh, it's all right, like gar ki murgi dal barabar business? So you think it's all right, it's available in my backyard, it's not a great deal. But those are the kind of things which capture international imagination, and therefore you need that support to be given for the local products. So you have the Commerce Ministry which is working fervently on getting an export policy, make sure that the ways in which the policy is going to help the exporters by giving incentives, by promoting many things. And one very repetitive line, very relevant line which the minister normally refers is, we can't be exporting taxes. We also should identify ways in which those taxes, whether center, state or local taxes which are on these products, should be removed so that we don't burden the exporters with such items where we really cannot actually derive such much revenue, but you burden them nevertheless. Whether it is electricity or energy costs, whether it is the logistics costs. With better roads coming, better facilitated ports coming, with electronic facilitation for the customs operation coming, surely the logistics element is being little by little addressed, but state governments will also have to spend some time to see that within the state, logistics doesn't become a burden on them. Multimodal approach to logistics and PM Gati Shakti being one a beautiful protocol with which synergy can be brought in will have to be worked out. Now these are like, I'm talking with adult policy makers, adults who are students are here getting trained for trade policy and so on. But I would like to draw the attention of those students who are passing out of IIFT, who are students now, that there are a few things which I'll definitely want to share with you. You might think I'm doing a minister talk, Mantri ji bol rahe hain. Nahi, I have been a student of trade. So I'm talking with you like another student of trade. I'm not talking as a minister, but another student of trade. In my MA, I did a course in trade, my MPhil is in trade, my PhD, which I didn't go to defend, is in trade. So with confidence, I like to tell you that today the trade-related courses will have to become a lot more nimble. You will have to have a comprehensive understanding of what is transpiring in global trade areas. It is not just one country exporting to another or one country buying from another. Multilateral institutions which govern trade have set the global norms. We should understand them. If anything, India's case should be put forward in a far more discerning, understanding way. Trade students or students of subjects on trade will have to understand how each country is handling it. You can't just be reading materials and copy-pasting on theories. Oh, China did this, so why don't we do this? Oh, this country, South Korea, did this, why don't we do it? Do we understand enough of our economy to understand where trade should go? So I would think students who are in IIFT should widen their horizon, should have a lot more multidisciplinary approach to studying trade. Do you understand the legalities of it? Do you understand global laws versus country-specific laws? You have to spend some time on it. Your courses will have to give you a chance to be able to do that extra bit of reading on it. So Indian Institute of Foreign Trade courses are not going to be the beginning. They're just starting opening the windows. It's for you all to gather more information and be able to study as to how India's trade policy should reflect the strength of Indian economy, but yet protect India's interest when you're negotiating. So there is the second point which I want to underline. You should have enough trade-related negotiating skills. You're not just data-producing students. You're not just giving papers saying our trade is like this. You should be in the team of the Commerce Minister. When he negotiates trade, you have Indian Economic Service and Indian Trade Service sitting and giving papers from behind, saying, oh, Minister, please can you take this up? But many a times I find them copy-paste. I'm sorry to say this. Copy-paste. The minister doesn't get an advantage because an IIFT trained student is giving him a clue. He doesn't get an advantage because you're just giving what you read, churned out what is read. You should, your course should give you enough stuff to be able to understand that this point of window should be effectively used, and the minister should be given all the information with which he can argue and bargain for India better. So I would suggest to the institution and also to the IIFT students that your subject, what you learn in the class, is good enough, but you should also be versatile enough to read many more things and understand how trade negotiations will have to be conducted. It's one thing for the in-charge minister to say, and I'm fully supportive of that thought. And in fact, I had once earlier also Sue Motu interfered in the Commerce Ministry to say, please, on marine products, you better consult with Andhra Pradesh, without that you will not move forward. I did tell him. So consultations with stakeholders is important. But where is the IIFT alumni? Where are the IIFT students? Why should it be that only elders who are dealing with these sort of things will talk? As students who are doing the course along with your faculty, if you sense that Commerce Ministry is going to negotiate for some trade agreement with a particular country, don't you have enough stuff to give a suggestion to the minister, a representation to the minister? Please meet him and give. Look, from IIFT, this is what we think you should do. It's up to him whether he wants to take it, whether he will take it partly, fully, whatever, but at least that's how your skill gets built. So IIFT, instead of being just, okay, MA degree from IIFT, PhD from IIFT, diploma from IIFT, should also actively be engaging for India's trade. I suggest to the Vice Chancellor that he should take it up. The wonderful brains are here. Use them from now. From now you should have the skill to be able to tell the ministry how to go about it. Of course, minister has his own experience. At the negotiating table, he knows how to take it. But don't you want to be part of it? I would strongly recommend students from Indian Institute of Foreign Trade to take these kind of routes. So you need to be proactive. You have to think out of the box. You also have to do no copy pasting job. And above all, I'll come back to saying one thing. Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, headquarters in Delhi. There's one in Kolkata. When was this started? 1963? Yeah. In its 60 years, not even in the first 20, 30 years, had it moved out of Delhi. Sometime in 80s, I think you had the Kolkata set up. 2006. But Kolkata 2006, I know for sure, had all kinds of problem because the land was on a marshy place, the construction was bad, the students couldn't live in a decent accommodation, classes were all dripping with the waters from the ceiling. It's after 2014, and I remember again sending teams to Kolkata to make sure that these are built properly, because students will have to have a healthy environment to be able to conduct their classes. That was sorted out by about 2016. But we didn't wait for the next. The third IIFT in the country is in Andhra Pradesh, and comes to a place which is the New Age Export Center. Kolkata during presidency under the British, Delhi because of the capital of India. But the third institution which comes to a place which it's itself an export hub should have the heft, should have the quality of curriculum, should have students come here not just to understand the classroom mechanics. You should go out and meet up with some of these exporters to understand how it happens. Students should have field experience to know at the time of packaging what happens, which can obstruct India's trade. Your courses should be hands-on, not just with papers. So, well, I don't want to add more time. I know Honorable Minister Piyush will have to take his flight. I just want to highlight, now that I have a captive audience of the ministers here, captive audience of the students I have addressed, the captive audience of the ministers should be told, Andhra Pradesh, post the bifurcation, has had 10 top institutions coming to the state post bifurcation. Prime Minister Modi has never for a moment had second thoughts. He's always said, please, every state should prosper. I want Andhra Pradesh also to prosper. Every state should be given its due. And if it took 60 to 70 years for the rest of the states to get one by one in trickles coming into some states, Andhra Pradesh has got at one go within the first 5 years after its formation. 10 of them. And I'm not just going to say this and walk away. People say, take care, the minister said 10, where is the 10? I'll read out the list for you. The kind of quality institutions which have come to Andhra. AIMS is set up at Mangalagiri. Indian Institute of Management and Petroleum University is at Visakhapatnam. IISER, which is the India Institution for Science Education and Research, IISER and IIT, both have gone to Tirupati. NID is in Vijayawada, National Institute of Design, again, which comes under Minister Piyush Goyal. So if all of them have gone to different parts of Andhra Pradesh, IIFT comes to Kakinada. Indian Institute of Packaging, which is yet to take off, I understand, is going to Visakhapatnam. NASIN, which is the Center for Training all IRS officers, and I keep repeating this line, if all Indian Administrative Service officers are trained in Mussoorie, Uttarakhand, close to Dehradun, all IPS officers are trained in Hyderabad, in Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Institution, all IRS officers who take care of GST, who take care of income tax, who take care of customs, who take care of excise, who also do the prevention of narcotics spreading into this country, are to be trained in Anantapur, in Hindupur. So where is Mussoorie, where is Hyderabad, now where is Anantapur? You got it here, Palasamudram. And actively you find Government of Andhra Pradesh engaging to complete the project by middle of next year. So Andhra Pradesh gets the best of institutions within the first 5 years when the state was divided into two. Prime Minister Modi is constantly looking at the state to say, please make sure things work out, they are completed in time, and effectively help the state. So I would take this opportunity to say before the young minds, your coming to Kakinada should be seen as you're coming to the hub of export. Oh, sorry, I've missed out on two other things. Tribal University in Vijayanagaram. Again, you might wonder, I don't know, many students may not be from Andhra Pradesh. How many of you are from Andhra Pradesh? Oh, sorry, I should have asked the reverse. How many are not from Andhra Pradesh? Good enough. I just want to tell you why Vijayanagaram should get a tribal university. That area and further is actually once upon a time called the Integrated Tribal Development Agency area. ITDA area, short form, they used to say agency. Full of tribals. And again, for students who are doing foreign trade, Araku coffee comes from there. It's one of the top brands for India. You find it in the high streets of Paris. You now have it everywhere. During some of the best coffee expositions, Araku coffee is on the top league. That comes from that area. So to have a tribal university there and a bulk drug park, it's already a park, I'm talking about institutions of university-like status. But never mind, now that they've told me, bulk drug park comes in place near Kakinada. Other than that, we've heard the minister say textile park has also been given here. So without taking much of your time, the institution being in Kakinada should be a highlight of the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. I don't want any one of you all to think that what is Kakinada, why are we here? You're actually in the hub of exports. You will have to utilize your time being here to understand how exports happen, how other exports can happen, and you should actively engage with both the center and the state governments in promoting trade. I'm extremely happy that we've seen the light of the day in this institution's history. We are happy to have this institution, and I'm sure the Commerce Ministry has been putting a lot of effort to get this going. I'm sure greater number of students will take up the course and be a part of this Kakinada ecosystem. And all the very best to all of you. Thank you very much.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the motivating words. I request our Vice Chancellor, sir, to propose the vote of thanks.
Let me try to end this function. I'd like to thank the Honorable Finance Minister, the Commerce Minister, the galaxy of dignitaries on stage for having been able to grace our occasions. Madam, let me tell you, we have listened to you, and I want to mention to our state governments let me end this function with a vote of thanks. And Madam, we have taken your words very seriously. And I must mention to the galaxy of ministers, in every state where IIFT has been established, we have worked with the state government specific issues. We mentioned trade. For example, how do you convert a product into a tradable product? It's a big thing about logistics. We are happy to do that with you. We are a small unit now, and we will take it further into expanding it, and we request you to also involve our faculty in any projects with any help that we can give state government in national objectives. We all thank you once again for having graced the occasion. Thank you.
I request everyone to please stand up for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you everyone for your gracious presence. I request everyone to please join us for refreshments arranged outside the auditorium. I request everyone to please join us for refreshments arranged outside the auditorium.
नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Please be seated. I now request Dr. M. Balaji Garu, Joint Secretary, Department of Commerce, to please felicitate the Chief Guest, Srimati Niramala Sitharaman ji, Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs. I now request Vice Chancellor Sir to please felicitate the guest of honor, Shri Piyush Goyal ji, Honorable Minister of Commerce and Industry, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution and Textiles. I request Vice Chancellor Sir, to felicitate Dr. Appal Raju Garu, Honorable Minister of Animal Husbandry, Dairy Development and Fisheries. I request Joint Secretary Dr. M. Balaji Garu to felicitate Shri B. Rajendranath Garu, Honorable Minister of Finance, Planning and Legislative Affairs in the present Government of Andhra Pradesh. I request Vice Chancellor Sir to felicitate Shri C.H. Srinivas Venugopala Krishna Garu, Honorable Minister for Backward Class, Welfare, Cinematography and Information and Public Relations in the Government of Andhra Pradesh. I request VC Sir to felicitate Shri Dadisetti Raja Garu, Honorable Minister for Road and Building, Government of Andhra Pradesh. I request VC Sir to felicitate Srimati V. Geeta Vishwanath Garu, Honorable Member of Parliament, Kakinada. I request VC Sir to felicitate Shri Karumuri Venkat Nageshwar Rao, Minister of Civil Supplies and Consumer Affairs, Government of Andhra Pradesh.
We request the Member of Parliament Sri GVL Narasimha Garu to come on to the dais and Sri Som Veerraj Garu to please come on to the dais. State and Sri Pilli Subhash Chandra Bose Garu, Member of Parliament, please come on to the dais. Mr. Bharat Garu, Member of Parliament, please come on to the dais. Thank you. Local MLA Sri Chandrasekhar Reddy Garu and former Minister Local MLA Sri Kannababu Garu, please come on to the dais. Thank you.
We request Chandrasekhar Reddy Garu to please come on to the dais. Requesting Kannababu Garu also to come on to the dais. MLC Shri Chikkala Ramchandra Garu, please come on to the dais. I request VC Sir to please felicitate Shri S.S. Rawat, Principal Finance Secretary. I request our Chief Guest and the dignitaries to please light the lamp. We will now have the welcome address by Dr. M. Balaji Garu, Joint Secretary, Department of Commerce, Government of India. Dr. Balaji Murugesan is a PhD in the Humanities and Social Sciences Department, Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. He has obtained his Master of Technology in Industrial Tribology and Machine Dynamics from the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi.
A very good morning to all of you. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a warm welcome to the Honorable Minister of Finance, Corporate Affairs, Government of India. We are indeed very delighted, madam. You have accepted our invitation to inaugurate a new campus for IIFT in Kakinada. I am sure your gracing this event would inspire the students who have gathered here in large numbers and the faculty. On this occasion, we are deeply honored to have amongst us the Honorable Minister of Commerce and Industry, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, the Textiles, Government of India. Sir, under your dynamic leadership and your meticulous guidance, the Department of Commerce has achieved many unattainable milestones last year, and this year it is all set to exceed our own performance. Sir, a warm welcome to you. The Government of Andhra Pradesh is kind enough to allocate 25 acres of land in the SEZ at Kakinada for construction of the new IIFT campus, and the state government also has agreed to share 50% of the capital expenditure for establishing the new campus. I welcome the Honorable Minister of Animal Husbandry, Fisheries, Andhra Pradesh Government. I welcome the Honorable Minister for Finance, Planning and Commercial Taxes. I welcome the Honorable Minister for Civil Supplies, Backward Welfare. I welcome the Honorable Minister, other MPs and MLAs for sparing their valuable time to take part in this inaugural ceremony. I also welcome the other senior dignitaries present in the hall, the Finance Secretary of the Government of Andhra Pradesh, the senior officials of the state government and the central government, Director IIFT, faculty, and the students of IIFT and JNUTU campus. We are quite confident that the IIFT, with 60 years of long and illustrious experience, would provide an excellent academic platform for the students of Kakinada campus to scale greater heights, not only in India but at a global scale. IIFT has established itself as a premier institution, a business top 10 business schools in India, and celebrating its Diamond Jubilee. A new campus in the southern part of the country is being inaugurated at this point in time. I once again welcome each one of you and wish the students and the faculty members the very best for all your future endeavors.
Thank you for the welcome address, sir. We will now watch an introductory video of the IIFT Kakinada campus.
IIFT was set up by Ministry of Commerce and Industry in 1963 and is celebrating 60 years of delivering excellence in foreign trade related research and training. IIFT takes inspiration from the fact that India was the epicenter of trading in ancient times and is still among the top global destinations for trading. The saga of success, which started in 1963, saw IIFT receiving recognition of deemed to be university in 2002 and recognitions like NAC A++ and AACSB accreditation. No wonder international business executives and mid-career professionals from the world over come to IIFT to pursue